What is going on, Panthers Nation? Carolina Dad here. Hey, this is not a preview or a post-game reaction, which is rare in season. It is more my laid back, let's talk about Carolina Panthers ball. And let's do that. So as we get towards the end of the season, this is really the normal show when we're not in season. It's me just talking about everything that's happening, my opinions. I'm going to have much stronger opinions this year going into the offseason, going into picking our next head coach, whoever that's going to be. And I think it's time to just start the conversation because before we know it, it's going to be the new year. We got 3 games to go, and these things are going to just start flowing in hot with names and interviews. And I want to get in the nitty gritty. We've got, as I'm recording this, some news with some allegations coming out against Michigan. I have not read the fine print details into those, but I know that that news is flowing in. There's Harbaugh's name being floated out now with the Chargers, with Justin Herbert. It feels like this is the year that Harbaugh makes the move, but I'm not here to talk about Harbaugh. I'm here to talk about a candidate in-house that should be considered a head coaching candidate, and that's Ejiro Evero. I've said it all along, and I think it's not the same as Steve Wilks. It's not like a Steve Wilks 2.0 situation where you've got Ejiro Evero at the helm leading us to, a 6-6 record over his last 12 games or whatever it is. It's not that, but it is a coach that is leading a defense, and a defense that's been banged up all year, that is now number 2, number 3 in yards allowed, which is unheard of. If you listen to my preview episode of the podcast, I talk about looking over the last 5 years, the teams with the worst record, the best finish that a team has had in yards allowed is 20th. The 20th, and we have the second best team. These things are not going to go unnoticed. But here's the report that's coming out. The report that's coming out is saying, hey, part of the front office, whether that's Tepper, whether that's Fitter, or whoever's in there, may want Ejiro Evero to be the defensive coordinator if they go down this path of having an offensive-minded head coach. And I see Panthers fans that are so excited, like, this is so great. Perfect situation. Perfect situation, right? You got your defensive coordinator that's already been here a year, gets another year under his belt with his team and his guys and building this out. But I want you to hold on a second and think about that. So this is for all, because I want to say like 99%, maybe it's less. Maybe it's there's a few folks out there that are really love David Tepper. But this is for the big chunk of y'all that are saying you want Tepper removed. You tell me, you're telling me, and you're telling Panthers fans, you want Tepper out of operations, out of decision-making. You don't want him meddling in anything football related, whether it's operations, deciding this coach. Guess what this situation would be? New head coaches that come in and take over teams typically do not keep coordinators or coaches. Maybe there's a position coach or someone like that. You don't keep the coaching staff that was there around. We saw, that's why Ejiro Evero left Denver. That is the reason he is not there, is his head coach is fired. Sean Payton comes in and they let him go. You don't see that happen a lot. But guess when it did happen? It happened last year. And here we go, when the front office and Tepper said, hey, we're going to actually have you, I really want you to bring back Chris Tabor and Campman, offensive line coach, both of those guys. Guess who is now the interim head coach of this team? Chris Tabor. And so I don't think Chris Tabor's the head coach moving forward. He's a great guy, but I don't. We are back in that position. Back in the position where you are telling me that you want Tepper to go out here as he's interviewing and saying, yeah, I know what your plan is, and you're the offensive-minded guy, and you're going to help us lead the offense and Bryce Young and his development. But on the flip side, you know what? You're also going to take my guy that I really want as the defensive coordinator. I know you've got your input and your thoughts, but we're not doing that. We're not going with your model. We're going with my model. And I'm going to say, this is how it's going to go. So you think on the outside that it sounds great and like a wonderful plan and everyone's married and happy and getting along, but that's him doing the thing that you said you did not want him to do, Panthers fans. That's it. So here's the path forward. The path forward is Evero becomes the head coach of this team, another team, or he moves on to another role as a defensive coordinator. That is not me saying I want him gone. I want him to be our head coach. I do. I have faith in him running this team as the head coach and bringing in an offensive-minded coach underneath to help the development of Bryce Young. Because we got it. The identity's there. The keep pounding. The play really good defense. We don't need to be a show-stopping, globetrotter, best show on turf offense out here. We don't. The Carolina Panthers don't have to do that. They don't. The identity of keep pounding, that's not it. Run the ball, play good defense, play good special teams. So that's the question I have. The question I have for you is, you tell us that you don't want Tepper involved, but the path and scenarios that you talk about and you're getting excited about, Tepper's involved. Tepper is absolutely involved in that. So just something for you to noodle on, Panthers fans, as you go into this end of year and we start talking about the hiring cycle. Tell me what you think. Drop your comments in the description below. Anyway, see y'all. Have a good one.